Howdy, folks. It's TMar Turtle Marlowe back again with another Turtle Theater. I saw Speed tonight, so I figured I'd talk about that. The 1994, I believe, film starring Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. Uh, to get things going, basically, the concept is kind of very oddly specific and a little dumb if you really think about it. Like, how are they going to keep a bus moving at more than 50 miles per hour when obviously there's going to be cars in the way and there's going to be like all this other stuff going on? But the movie really tries its best to rationalize and sort of act out this premise that seems kind of dumb. But for the most part, it works. Like, how are they gonna get rid of the car as well? The guy on board is a cop, and he's telling the other cops through this phone that he acquires from like some guy. He's just literally some guy, and he tells the cops to basically get choppers and stuff to clear out the roads. And yeah, and there's more tension. Like, one of the passengers shoots the driver, so Sandra Bullock has to drive the bus, which stretches disbelief a little bit, considering like uh, those buses are not easy to drive. So yeah, it's stretching disbelief a little bit, but you can kind of buy it, I guess. Anyway, so and there's stuff like, oh, the freeway is missing for some fucking reason, even though the map says it's completed. And the lieutenant's like, everybody's fired because the map is wrong. So anyway, once it actually abandons the bus, the movie gets really good. Like 90 minutes out of hour and 55, they just abandon the bus. They get rid of the bus. The bus explodes. Big whoop. But everybody's off it, so it's fine. And they actually wind up looping some video footage of the bus because uh, the bad guy has like a camera feed inside the bus, so the police and some broadcasters are able to manipulate the feed so that it loops every 60 seconds. And that's really almost the bad guy's undoing, except one person like moves their suitcase out of their lap for between that time so it doesn't loop like properly. I would say it doesn't look like a natural feed because of that one person moving their suitcase. So that's how the bad guy finds out, and then winds up using his status as a former cop to lure Sandra Bullock away from the scene. And they get he traps her on a subway, and they wind up they he winds up with a bomb on the subway, and that's actually interesting. Unlike the first like 90 minutes of the movie, which is just like, oh, they have to go a certain speed or they'll blow up, which again is an oddly specific danger. That and the only real reason why this is even happening is because at the beginning of the movie, Keanu Reeves and Jeff Daniels like basically they basically foil his scheme at like a random business with at the elevator shaft. He's trying to get some ransom money, but that doesn't work. So yeah, he concocts this scheme specifically to get one over on Keanu Reeves. Speaking of Keanu Reeves, A lot of the stereotypes about Keanu Reeves that were prevalent in like the 2000s are kind of in play here. Like his acting for the most part is kind of stiff, which I suppose that plays into like him being an action star, like him not emoting for the most part, and that was kind of like in at the time, like in the 80s and 90s, just have a stone cold action star that doesn't feel much or emote much, like how Arnie was in the Terminator movies. But yeah, that was just interesting point. Also, I was a little surprised by Jeff Daniels being as good as he was. Uh, the only thing I really know him from is from Dumb and Dumber, which, if you go into Speed only knowing Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber, it's kind of shocking how A, he looks a lot like Dave Coulier, and B, he is just a really good dramatic actor as well. So in conclusion, it's kind of a dumb concept, but they try their absolute best to make it work, and it almost does. But I still have some like minor issues where it's not. It's okay. It's a popcorn movie. It's a blockbuster action film, and that's really all I can ask for these. It's not gonna be amazing, but hey, what do you know? This is TMar signing off.